Nick Lodolo put way too much.
So much cheese.
Because everybody on the Mets lineup ate yesterday in a 9-1 loss to New York. Lodolo pitching 4 2/3 innings, gave up 11 hits, 7 runs, and the Reds, well, they were close to a sweep. They were in position for a sweep. It was their first series win at home since May 7th. But they could not complete the sweep. Our broom over there is collecting a lot of dust because the Reds haven't swept since we got that broom. So maybe we need to get rid of that broom, Rodney. I don't know. Maybe it's that. Or maybe Nick Lodolo just needs to pitch better.
I'm going to blame Jacob on this one.
That's fair. And that's fair.
That's the only thing that makes sense. He brought the broom out yesterday. I think we got a little too greedy expecting a sweep.
Look, you score 1 billion runs across 2 games. The Mets are the worst team of all time. You think you can maybe win a third, but not the case.
You know, I left early yesterday thinking that you would be able to hold down the fort and not jinx the Reds.
Whoa.
I will say vibes were high for the first word audience going into the game yesterday.
I left trusting the Des.
Yeah, you left.
I left.
You left.
Put my feet up, relaxed, had a cocktail at 10:37.
Getting ready for a concert.
It was great. Yeah, huge concert yesterday. It wasn't working at all, and you go and do that.
Yeah, I was optimistic, man. I had some faith.
I can't believe you got the broom.
I had some faith in the squad, and they let me down like they have for about the last month and a half. And that's the concerning part with this Reds team is it feels like it's just been a snowball now for over a month, and it's not getting much better except for some blips in the radar that are in between there.
15 27 since May 1st. We're going to dive into our concern level for Nick Lodolo. But here's Nick on his performance, including the 11 hits he gave up yesterday.
You've had many outings over the years where you're just single that?
No, I mean, I feel like I had one in St. Louis earlier this year, but yeah, I mean, how many? I don't even know. What was it? 9, 10 singles. But you know, it counts. So I got to find a way to stop it.
What didn't allow you to stop?
I mean, even obviously, I'd like swing and miss. I wasn't getting any swing and miss there. But yeah, I haven't really looked at execution of pitches on that. You know, there was definitely some hit hard, some weren't. That's the game, though.
I feel like your changeup and your fastball aren't maybe working as well together this year as they did last year. It seems like there's more contact on the fastball, a little less miss on the changeup. Is that kind of something you're looking at? Yeah,
that's definitely something. You know, we talked about this last week, that I'm trying to get better. I think it starts with location. So it's something I got to just get better at. And I need to this week for sure. So overall, I mean, there's plenty of other things too that I feel like I obviously today didn't do a good job of. So, yeah.
You guys in rotation obviously don't want to go deeper in the games. How tricky is the balance between pitching with contact and still getting this swing and miss when you need to and kind of making it all, getting it all?
I think a lot of that just comes with making good pitches throughout it. I think when you're going through an outing like that, you're always hunting swing and miss. That's king. So, you know, I think, like I said, pitching deep into games and stuff like that, if you do things that, like, for example, get ahead and you're on the attack the whole time, you're going to do that. That's something I haven't done a great job of, and it's something why I feel like I'm in the position I'm in.
Do you feel because of that maybe it's been harder for you or less frequent for you to use that back foot slider that was one of your trademark pitches?
Yeah, for sure. I'm just not really getting myself to a spot to do that, and then when I am, I got to execute.
Nick Lodolo struggling, the Reds struggling as well. And there you look at Nick Lodolo's season stats. The 11 hits, 7 runs, 2 walks, only 2 strikeouts in 4 2/3 innings. Look, one of the strengths of this team, and I was certainly banking on it being a strength given their recent struggles and struggles dating back to May 1st, was the starting pitching.
Yeah.
And Nick Lodolo getting healthy and Hunter Green making his way back. And it felt like Lodolo was turning a corner. big setback yesterday.
Yeah, it absolutely wasn't, especially when you look at those numbers, a 4 2/3. It's the shortest outing for him since May 13th. 2 strikeouts on the season, a season low. But the ones that are concerning for me, a season high, 11 hits and 7 runs. The 11 hits, the most he has given up in a single game since July of 2024. Really thought we had seen him kind of taking some strides since he had been back in that starting rotation. But man, he's going to have to really come back strong after this one, because the way he pitched yesterday cannot be a trend moving forward.
No, and I think the concern is starting to settle in that it might be. And that's certainly not where this Reds team needs to be. And we've talked a lot about this rotation and how it's going to be the catalyst if this Reds team wants to get anywhere this year. And Nick Lodolo is obviously a huge part of that. Before the season, he was the number 2 arm behind Hunter Green. At worst, he's your number 3 arm if Chase Burns has jumped right now. And he hasn't shown that when he's been on the mound so far this year. I think the concern comes in with the strikeouts and the walks, which has been what propelled Nick Lodolo to what he was. And it's those off-speed pitches that gave him the blister problems that made him an elite pitcher. And I wonder if there's some concern with the grips there that's making him less comfortable using those pitches, that's making him less effective on the mound. But last year, a full season, which was really, really great for Lodolo, he was up near a 25% K rate with a walk rate below 5. This year, 16.3% strikeouts and an 8.7% walk rate, the highest walk rate since his rookie season. So big concerns really across the board for Lodolo on this year, and everything about his value provided on the mound does not align with what we've seen from the last few seasons.
All right, let's do the concern meter here. 1 to 10 scale. Jacob, let's start with you because I think it's going to be dramatic. 1 to 10. 10 being the most concerned you could possibly be. What's your concern level right now for Nick Lodolo?
Like an 8. It's really, really high because of what he needs to be. So much of the conversation about concern level around a Brady Singer or a Chris Paddock or all these other guys, there's not a ton of wiggle room from a 5 to a 4.5 in terms of what the expectation and what you need them to be. But Nick Lodolo is expected to be a 3.3, maybe even a high 2s guy that we're talking about for all-star campaigns right now, and he couldn't be further from that when he's on the mound. There's really no confidence in him giving you a quality start when he's going out there at this point, and it's a really tough place to be. So I'm around an 8.
I'm concerned I'm going to be lower than an 8. I'm around a 6 right now. Out of his 8 starts, only 2 of them he has given up 2 or fewer runs. I really hope it doesn't escalate beyond a 6. Let me just say that. He's going to have to go out and have one of those type games where it's a 3 runs or fewer for me to have that confidence in him going forward. But right now I'm going to stay at a 6 because he's shown he can be that pitcher that this Red staff needs, that he's proven it in the past, has to find a way to get back to that form.
Yeah. Get where both of you are at, and I teed you up with the dramatic part of it, but I'm higher. I mean, I think if the Reds are going to the playoffs, Nick Lodolo is going to be a big reason why in either one facet or another. So, by the way, 10. Just to give you a number.
Wow.
10.
Yeah.
No, but
it's reasonable.
Here's why. The trade deadline is next month. And so he's either going to help you by getting something for him in a trade, or he's going to be an awesome number 2 pitcher behind Hunter Green. And I get Chase Burns is there, but like that's on paper what he is. And right now, I mean, you hope Hunter Green's better when he comes back. Chase Burns is certainly better. Andrew Abbott is better. Rhett Lauder, I would say, it feels better. And so maybe we're feeling differently in a few weeks after a few more starts, and this could ease way back down, and he could be their 2nd or 3rd starter, and all these things are be hunky-dory. But right now, it is really high because the last thing you want is to feel stuck with Nick Lodolo, where he's got to start every 5th day, not performing at a high level, and also not going to get anything back of value in return in a trade.
No, not at all. And those are the 2 ways he can help. And the conversation about trading Lodolo will get louder as we progress towards the trade deadline if this Reds team falls away. 2.5 years of team control left, and one of those years would potentially be the lockout season in 2027. So it's certainly a conversation. I wonder if bullpen to try to get him back. He did pitch out of the bullpen a few times at TCU in his college career, hasn't done it with the Reds. I don't know what it is, but the Reds' number 1 priority with this pitching rotation right now needs to be getting Nick Lodolo back to some kind of version of himself. Last year, when he had a 3.3 ERA, he finished the season with a 3.4 expected ERA. So almost exactly what the metrics would say he would have. This year, with a 6.1 ERA, his expected ERA is a 6.6. So even worse than what we've seen so far. There's not a lot to hold on to right now. There's an overhaul of Nick Lodolo on the mound that needs to take place here, and I don't know what that solution really is, but the Reds have to find it.